I'm on a date tonight, so I'll have to just looking good. No, I'll just do it in front of her. She'll know.
Going! He's kept going! He's scored! Oh, Stockport pressure. And a superb goal! Chelsea did it! Lisa! Rose tries to get the ball in.
It's a 5-star performance from Stockport County.
All right, we got a small house, but we got a big bloody heart, I tell you.
48 hours into 2 weeks of no county, and I'm already ready to self-harm. Hello, and welcome to episode number 15 of SK3 TV, the weekly show giving you the first word on the weekend's county action, although God knows what we're going to do next week. That's going to be absolutely disastrous. Yes, we are here every week between the hours of 8 and 9, 10 past 9-ish, not strict. Talking all things what are about county and some things what are not. And with me tonight is Hannah. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Nick.
How are we?
I've got updates. I used the kiosk in the pop side on Saturday. It was really exciting. So if anyone can't find it, because it took me a little while, they're in the tent, the kind of marquee thing. There's 2 kiosks, and you can choose between Beavertown. Is it neck oil? I don't drink.
Neck oil, yes.
Neck oil, Strongbow dark fruits, and Heineken. Yes. And you pay for it. You don't get season ticket discounts. So that's the only negative to it. But that is negated by, I think, so I went with my dad. And I reckon we were in the queue for about 2 minutes, maybe, and we went at half time. We didn't leave earlier. And it was brilliant. So what they do is they kind of 3/4 pour them and then top them off. And my dad's only complaint was it was too cold.
As complaints go, it's a nice one to have.
Yeah, but that was Saturday. So I heartily recommend the Popside kiosk, because you can also do it before the game, because you can do it collect now or collect at half time. So you could skip the queues and just go to the kiosk and go straight to the collection point to pick it up if you were being smart.
That's a proper game changer, that is. That's like...
It was really good. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Because it could have gone.
He loves pints as well. And he just sat there salivating while we were talking about the pints then. He's like, oh, God.
I'm good.
Oh,
there we go. See?
Well, that's obviously a home pour as well. It's got, it looks...
Yeah, that is actual alcohol. I'm not working tomorrow and wasn't working
delicious,
today.
Creamy head to it, if I do say so.
Yeah, a simple bottle of Moretti.
Yeah,
not sponsored, but if they want to get in touch... Did we not
drink them all while I was round at yours?
No, this was one of the big ones that I held back. This is one that I hid from when you were here.
Hid.
Careful with the alcohol sponsorship, because after those 6 bottles of Jameson turned up at a non-drinker's house...
I have a question actually on the whole season ticket discount thing.
Yeah.
What is that on? Is that on any kind of beverages in the ground?
Yeah, it doesn't work in the 1883 anymore.
Does it work?
Yeah, anywhere else.
So what I'm wondering is, should I have got an extra 30p off the bottle of Coke I bought on Saturday?
Yes, 100%. And a meal deal, because I think it was last season, if you got a meal deal, the season ticket discount always took it down to £6.66, nice. Which I always used to find kind of grimly amusing. I hadn't
bought anything inside Edgeley Park for years. And because I'm not very well at the moment, I was thirsty and thought, I'll get myself a little bottle of Coke Zero from the bar behind the pop side. And now I'm realising that I could have saved a whole 30 British pence.
Right.
I'm outraged.
That'll get you a beer in Lidl, that will.
Will it?
No, it was just a little. I was just being a bit whimsical about how much cheaper Lidl is, but I don't bother in future. It's fine.
The whimsical price thing has always been like 30 penny sweets or 3 Freddos, but it wouldn't even get you that anymore. So I don't know what the options would be for 30p.
You know, twice
one
last
Freddo.
Week, well, twice last week I ate 5 Freddos in a sitting.
A multi-pack.
I got a multi-pack from B&M.
I was going to say, because otherwise it would have been very expensive.
Yeah. Oh, it was a multi-pack. £1.50 from B&M. No messing about. You know where you are.
Yeah.
That's still 30p. That's
Yeah,
still
that
30p a
is.
Freddo, which
It
is
can't
face
be
value.
more
For 30p. Freddos with a street value of 30p. It always makes me laugh how street value. When the police like seize drugs, it's always like, oh, drugs with a street value. Why is it only drugs that have a street value? It should apply to like Freddos as well. So Freddos with a street value of 30p.
Well, I think everything does, because the wholesale value is different to the retail value. That's just retail value, isn't it? That's what street value is. It's just retail value.
It's
just give it a different name because you sell it on the street.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's selling Freddos on street corners.
They will be.
Yeah, they're not.
In the end times.
Not yet. Yeah, I'll be paying for them with my bottle caps. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Fallout this week.
That's
right, we
right.
should. I'll nail a bit of admin.
There's a comic coming nearby in the next few days, so that might be useful research.
I thought you said comic, and I was like, what? The Plaza? Is it Jason?
Yeah, no, but there is good one. Well, yeah, completely forgot the blokes. John Bishop is at the Plaza next month. There we go.
He's
my sunglasses for his teeth.
Yeah, John Bishop used to be a farmer rep.
Yeah.
He was because in a previous life I used to run conferences that farmer reps would like have stands at. So
Oh, pharmaceutical. I thought you meant like farmers.
Yeah, so did I.
No, sorry, pharmaceutical representative.
Okay, yeah, you need to say the whole words for idiots like us. Right, let's smash out a bit of admin, and then we'll get into 3 hours of football to chat about across the week. So admin wise, you'll have seen at the top of the show if you're watching on YouTube that there are still a couple of tickets floating about for our evening with Danny Lloyd at Stockport Gin on Wednesday night. Go to stockport-gin.com/Danny Lloyd. So I've done actions for it. 2 days to go, and I started doing actions for it. Also, after that is done, we will be announcing another event, will we not, Hannah? Yeah, we will.
We really will. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we will.
Like the most excited I've ever been about.
Finish Danny Lloyd on Wednesday night, and then Thursday morning we'll be announcing the next one.
We're
and then
going
after that
from
next one's
your
finished, we'll be announcing
era
the next one.
to mine.
Yes, we are.
Ours?
We are. We're time traveling.
Are you somewhere in the middle?
Well, I know now I know who it is. Yes, I also
Steady.
saw said player. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I didn't. I
Okay.
didn't. But I've heard tell of his deeds. So
They are very famous deeds.
Yeah. In addition, thank you to everyone who's got in touch with us about the episode with Tom Mann last week. That seems to have gone down. That we very much enjoyed, and that seems to have gone down very well. But also the people who went up to Tom on match day.
Yeah.
That was really, yeah. First thing you told me on Saturday when I saw you, that was Hannah. No, how are you, Nick? How are you doing? All right. But you'll never guess what. I was like, yes. First thing I told people when I got to the courtyard on Saturday, thanks to friend of the show Ian Dowden, has furnished me with the programme from my first ever game, and also a programme that features a drawing that I drew. So there's my little picture of Ellen Armstrong for people on the video. Yeah,
A drawing
I
what
ran
he
out of
drew.
Ran out of green felt tip, clearly. But if you asked me to draw it again now, it'd look exactly the same. I've not got any better in the 30 years.
Hopefully, you have the money for
Nicholas
green
Lee,
felt
age 7.
tips now.
I'm not buying my own felt tips. I think I am Rockefeller.
You mixed them from
Nick them off my
McDonald's.
niece. Just steal off my niece. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Oh, right. We will get into... Is that all the admin? I think that's all the admin. Oh, and
Like and
also...
subscribe.
I know, he's nicked your role.
It's fine. It's fine. Bit of variation of tone and, maybe resonates better.
I don't know. remains to be seen. We'll see. We'll see. Much like glass coffins, remains to be seen. Oh God, I hate myself. Right, let's get into the football after this. So we begin not with the bittersweet symphony pie eating sods on Saturday, but we start with Tuesday night where we were at Shrewsbury. I was in Blackbird in Stockport watching it. Will, you joined me for the last half hour. That really helped get us over the line. I thought we were starting to look like we weren't going to hold on to this lead, and then bang, half an hour of us sitting there drinking everything that was available, and it was all okay. But Hannah, more importantly, you were there. Tell us all about it.
I was there. I didn't know Will was there. I didn't get any drunken text messages off Will versus you and other County fans. Like there was a message from someone at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I was like, how does this work? And then was like, oh, were they at Blackbird? Yes, they were.
Yeah.
So,
that's the bottom of it.
They were there longer than I was, in their defences.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. All right, fair enough. I don't know. Like whenever there's been a game in between, it's like wipe the slate clean. I feel like, again, better in the second half. They are not good, although they did incredibly well against Bolton on Saturday. I mean, they went on to draw, and actually, we'll get back to their solidarity with the Wigan fans over Bolton getting battered.
Yes,
I quite enjoyed the banter on Saturday with the Wigan fans. I think it was a selection or a lineup that people weren't necessarily expecting. I think in retrospect, it was probably about trying to rest people like Louis Barry. Bate didn't start either, did he? I mean, it was a solid performance. I don't think it was anything particularly impressive. It wasn't an exciting game to watch, but the
first half was as bad as the first half I've seen the whole season.
Yeah,
it was just a torrid first half, all that. Like not just from us, but from Shrewsbury as well. Just no one seemed to offer anything. There was a few shaky moments from both sides, but that was it. But then second half, we did what needed to be done, and it's genuinely there's a fair bit of. I'm going about it again. That I've already moaned about, but people moaning about people moaning is just the order of the week, the whole week again. Halftime on Tuesday, people saying, "Well, we used to be in the National League North, County fans." Like, yes, we know we did, but it's not fucking relevant here, is it? And then again on Saturday, but once again we clearly don't know our best team and system yet.
Yeah, and I think I wasn't
coming back, and we're still winning.
I wasn't confident going into it. I mean, Paul Hurst, obviously, when he was at Grimsby, we struggled with them. Or they were incredibly good at shithousing wins. After he left and David Artell came, we didn't have any issue. So I was worried about that. It was obviously didn't. Hang on. No, it wasn't that. Okay, no, Andy Mangan was sent off against Barnsley, wasn't it? Because obviously he was at Shrewsbury, so it was him going back as well, and was like a local hero in Shrewsbury. Won the PFA Community Champion Award when he was there, and all sorts. He was, he did an awful lot for the club and for the town. So there were just a few little things. I was like, I don't know, how I feel about this, but yeah, it was fairly pedestrian in the end.
Yeah, it's fine. Managed to. I mean, Mingy got some minutes at the end, and then got minutes at the start on Saturday, so it's nearly adding up to a full game. Yeah. But I just felt that once we made the subs in the second half, it just felt it was only going to go one way. But a moment of magic from Ethan Pye, that of all the people to expect it from, and I'm now resigned to the fact that this time next year he will not be a county player.
When you
because the
said
way he's coped with the step up has been spot on.
when you said about Wigan pie eating, I was sat there thinking, I thought he did all right on Saturday, didn't he? I didn't.
No, I was being racist.
To shit like this, should I? It's really bad.
It was just a bit of racist horseplay, Hannah. It's like, all right, that's all. That's all. But when I say
They're not making
horseplay, I
horse
don't mean Fraser
pies.
Horsefall.
Oh, horseful.
No, that's no, the horse pie thing's gone. That's done now. We've moved on past that. They're still doing it. I've definitely had a lasagna from Iceland that was probably horse. But everyone's at it. Iceland, Tesco, they were all at it, weren't they?
Oh
All got
God, I
caught
forgot
doing
about
horse
all that.
now.
Yeah.
I'd
What a
completely
time that
forgotten
was.
about that whole scandal. What a great time
When
to be a vegetarian.
When I saw that on the news, I just come home pissed with a kebab. And I was sat there eating this doner kebab, and then this came on the news, and my housemates at the time were like, "Oh my God, you never believe this." I was like, "Have you seen what I'm eating here?"
Yeah.
And it's quite possible that I'm eating horse right now. Like, not a problem for me. It's nice. It's fine. It's all right. I'd rather eat horse than like dog. So,
I mean, having verifiably eaten horse meat in France a long time ago, all I remember about it is it being very stringy. I wasn't that sold. It's not a meat. It's not a meat that's going to bring me back into eating meat. Let's put it that way.
No. I think I could go vegetarian if it wasn't for like burgers and Nando's.
Steak.
I could take a leaf steak.
Oh.
I'm not bothered.
So actually, Emma the other week said about what do you actually have for Christmas dinner. I have steak and chips for Christmas dinner.
Oh, fair play.
There you go. That's delayed response. Peppercorn sauce, yeah.
That's my favourite thing about steak.
From a particular, I'll bring it right. So there's a really, really good one that they sell in the butchers in Marple, but they also sell in bigger packets at an abattoir in North Wales that I frequent. So I'll bring you something that's the best peppercorn sauce ever.
Excellent. Oh, I always take my dates to the wrong abattoir.
Well, I've got a good one.
Excellent. Sold. Yes, it was one of the. I think we've played 2 teams so far that are nailed on to get relegated in Cambridge and Shrewsbury, and found our way past both of them fairly easily once we stepped up a gear. So again, there's for all the moaning, there's not really much to moan about, and it's just.
No.
But I'm still more annoyed at the people moaning about the moaning.
I think
if one more person says, "Oh well, we were National League North 5 years ago," I will punch them in the face because it is irrelevant.
I have a theory on that, which is that there are certain people who, if you say anything that can be remotely conceived as negative, that means that you're a negative. It means you're a negative person and you don't appreciate what we've got. When actually, it's not that at all. I'm incredibly chilled about this season. This could come back and bite me, but we're in no danger of going down. Short of a points deduction or some kind of financial chaos. Whatever happens beyond that, I'm chill. We're in League One. That doesn't mean that I don't go into every single game for 90 minutes going, we have to win this. Before the Wigan game, which I didn't want to jump to, but I have done. I was sort of thinking, this is going to be 0-0. It's, I'm not too bothered, whatever, it's Wigan, fine. Soon as I was inside the ground, as soon as I could hear the Wigan fans who made more noise before the game than during, I was like, we have to win this. We have to win this game. So for those 90 minutes, everything that went wrong was irritating. That doesn't mean that I'm moaning. I'm just saying, oh, that was rubbish. He should have done better with that chance. So,
What's he moaning? I'll show you moaning.
I'd rather you didn't.
Let's go to the abattoir, Will. I'll show you moaning. I'll show you how I'm moaning, baby. Oh God, yeah. That takes us nicely onto Saturday because we got we saw Jay Mingy starting again, which was the big one for me. And I'd say first half, he was nailed on man of the match for me. And
He
then
was
for him not
good.
to-
It was superb.
for him not to
Absolutely
come out- a
superb.
fantastic last ditch tackle, like right in front of us in the shield end as well. That was just, if he'd missed time, that's a penalty.
That moment was an absolute peak moment from an attacking perspective for Wigan, and an absolute peak moment for from a defensive perspective for us. That first touch from the Wigan player, I think, has been overshadowed by how good Mingy's tackle was.
Yes.
Because I watched this back again earlier today. There are 2 touches. Once the ball comes over, there's the Wigan player takes 1 touch to be in the box and bearing down on goal, and then Mingy takes 1 touch to send it out for a corner. That's it. And both of those were it was great. It was just two really good League One players duking it out on the pitch. And yeah, it was such a great moment. Really good
Pair of
moment.
athletes, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
It was, I don't know, it was a weird game. You can totally see. I mean, that was Wigan are now 6 games unbeaten, but within that, I think they've got 4 or 5 nil.
I think it's 6 games without conceding a goal.
Oh, is it?
4-0
Something like that. Yeah.
4-0 nils now.
Yeah.
You can completely see why. And, you know, I don't know, it was almost like they're really kind of pacey and interesting and creative to watch in midfield, but then didn't seem to be able to kind of convert that into a forward press. And, they would play the ball forward, but either we were really good defensively, and I think we were all right.
I think that was a part of it.
But yeah, it just I kept, and they had, as a spectator, some decent attempts, but actually really only one shot on goal, I think, or at least 1 block shot. So yeah, it was. I enjoyed watching it. It wasn't.
It was quite an absorbing contest. Yeah, I thought. Although I went down to the smoking / vaping area early at half time and missed their disallowed goal, and then was just confronted by a stream of people coming down to me going, "No idea what that was disallowed for."
Yeah,
it's only today that you can see. I mean, the referee, to be fair to him, I mean, a referee's been terrible when both sets of fans give like an ironic cheer when they get a decision. Like, both sets of fans were doing it, but he's done so well to spot that.
Odd.
Yeah. I mean, I still am struggling to see it on replays. Like, it's not clear. So the fact that he's seen that confidently enough to disallow a goal in real time is really impressive, and he deserves praise for that.
He seemed to give really odd decisions, and many of them were in our favour for nothing, almost as retribution or reparation for something previously that he maybe should have given that he hadn't.
He's constantly trying to even things up.
Yeah, probably all but I recognise him. I feel, was he the one whose knee went against Harrogate? Because he had a really good chat with our physio when he came on. I don't know if it was Mingy when he came, like really good, like, oh, how are you doing?
He did. He had a very matey chat.
I wondered whether there was that. Yeah, it was. But I'm sure that he refereed. I think did he do the Wrexham game, and then he did another one later on the season and was equally inconsistent.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
I feel like I've seen him a fair amount.
There's only about 1 or 2 referees that I can recognise, and that's usually because I think they look like somebody else, and I go, oh, it's that one who looks like somebody else. And I can never remember who the somebody else is either, but I'll go, oh, it's him. There's one in particular I'm thinking of, and I can't remember who it is he looks like, but when I see him, I'll know.
My favourite thing was the absolute joy and pleasure on lovely Nick Powell's face when he came on. He just looked like he was desperately happy to be there. He was brilliant.
The lesser spotted Nick Powell.
Yeah. And someone called him Tubby. It's like, no, he's just like someone else said on the WhatsApp group. Oh, it's because it's his beard and his hair. Oh no, that was my brother. Sorry, Alex. I'll give you credit for that thing. I used it on the WhatsApp group as if it was my own opinion. But
That's
yeah,
what
I
they
think
all
because
do.
he's just gone for the facial hair and he's let his hair grow out a little bit, it just makes his face look different and probably a little bit wider. He's clearly not tubby, and
No.
I just loved watching him. And every time he got like a cynical knock, he just came up with a smile on his face. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Odin
It
Bailey as
seems
well.
to be he was like winning, like Powell was just winning free kicks all over the pitch as well. Like we won a free kick like right on the edge of our own area, and then I looked at who was, and it's Powell who's down on the floor. I was like, what?
Maybe that's why he was smiling.
He's been everywhere. He's been everywhere.
He
here.
just likes
But
rolling around on the floor.
Yeah. So as much as I'd say the jury is still out on Powell for me personally, what I could not stand on Saturday was the people around me shouting, "Come on, Nick!" Because A, my name's Nick, so I think I'm being shouted. So that's an issue. And B, it was very Tim Henman at Wimbledon. It was very like, it's like why does he get first named? Why does?
Do you know what though?
Like-
I've noticed, because I do shout at individual players in a very kind of encouraging way, and I've noticed that the vast majority I've started first naming.
Well,
I don't
I'm
know where it's
inconsistent.
coming from.
Ethan Pye has to be a first name one because you can't go shouting.
I
"Come on,
can't think of anyone that there is someone, but I can't think who it is.
What's is always what's. Well, but Tanto is effectively his first name. So
It basically is by this point.
maybe it's just Woods then.
I'm sure there are more because I know what I mean. I call Powell. I'm like, go on, Powell, go on. I don't know why, but I'm inconsistent, you know. And sometimes it'll be the same player in the same passage of play. I might be like, you know, go on, Odin, and then go on, Bailey. You know, who knows?
Oh,
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I'm all over the place.
We're veering right into football cliches podcast territory.
Yeah, aren't we?
What a podcast that is.
Someone in the
by way.
comments mentions Jezzy Fabs.
Jezzy Fabs.
So I forget that Jezzy Fabs isn't actually a thing. And
It is a thing.
It's just
No, it is a thing.
Well, yeah, but it's not like a
I have
common
heard it.
thing. It's a bit like Mean Girls when she says, "Stop trying to make that a thing, Gretchen."
It's about fetch happen.
Yeah.
But if you're saying that Jezzy Febs isn't a thing, then you're also saying that this podcast isn't a thing, and yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
we know that Fevs is a thing within the club because Challoner's referred to him as Fevs in interviews.
I think
So-
when he signed as well, he said he wanted to be. He would like to be known as Fabs.
So it's only a short. It's a little skip and a jump to Jezzy Fevs. It's not a stretch.
Is this
And
like?
I'm sure I've heard it outside of.
I don't think
know,
I have.
the
But I
universe.
also feel like we should maybe check, like we did with the Courier Dye pineapple thing, that we should check whether
That he's okay with
Jezzy
it.
Fabs is happy with being
They
called
won't
Jezzy
answer my
Fabs.
calls though, so I can't. I've tried. None of them will answer my calls.
See if Tom Mann will
Yeah,
ask
Tom,
the
can you
question.
find out?
If
check
Jane
if
Prevrier
they
would be
will
okay
then.
with being Jezzy Fevs. Yeah.
Good. I mean, if he's not, it's too late. I mean, if it turns out he's not, I'll just blame Dave Philbin who came up with it. Fair, isn't it?
friend
That's
of the
fair,
friend
yeah.
of the show.
I'll do that. But yeah, from the show. But yes, you also pointed out beforehand, alongside Powell, we got to see Odin Bailey, which is two players that I think Challoner mentioned by name a couple of weeks ago, saying like they're not getting any game time and it'll come. And I genuinely did not expect it to, I mean, at half time on Saturday, I was talking to my mates and said, "Oh, I reckon Powell. I can't see Powell playing a league game for us again. I think he'll pop up in the BDSM trophy and that'll be it." And then get down to my seat. It's like, "Oh, coming on, it's number 11. Nick. Oh God." Maybe it turns out I just don't actually know anything about football, about anything. Maybe that's the truth. But it was very good to see them both impress in that second half, as I think they both did.
I think Odin, not Bailey. I think Odin probably saw it as a massive opportunity because, funnily, despite how friendly him and Louis, you see, like now in my head, I'm like, they're very, very close friends. And the irony is that, you know, if Louis hadn't have come back, Odin probably would have had more opportunities to start. But you could see, you know, he was like really up for it and knew that it was his opportunity to make an impression, and I think he did that.
I believe Odin Bailey was responsible for our first shot on target.
Yes.
Certainly the first one I remember, which looked a lot better on the highlights than I thought at the time. I thought he kind of scuffed it at the time, but it's actually he actually gets a decent amount of power by it.
Yeah, it was Camps, wasn't it? Camps to Bailey. Also, is the goalkeeper Tickle not the best nominative determinism that has ever been seen? Well, not ever, but I was particularly pleased with that. And he did. I mean, he's England under 21s, so he was going to be good. And
he was a good keeper.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make a note to put nominative determinism in the episode title.
There you go. That's on the highlights.
That's in the trailer. Boom. Anything else on Wigan? I think a point was fair. I think if we'd got the winning goal there, I think Wigan could have felt hard done by. If they'd got the winner, I think we could have felt hard done by. And I think a point was a fair result, and I came away relatively pleased with the performance for the most part. No moaning.
I think I said to you before the game, or someone before the game in the courtyard, it's got 0-0 written all over it.
I said exactly the same on Radio Manchester on Friday night. Put a bet on.
Yep.
Was that just you dropping?
But then I didn't put it. Well, twice last week, Hannah. Just twice they called me last week. Yeah, I mean, this is what you have to do sometimes. Now. Yeah, when you're there's other faces of this podcast, but they were all busy, so I had to go and do it.
So is that what you told them? Is that how you got to do it twice?
I was like, I'll have to do it.
And Will are terribly busy today. They couldn't possibly, but I will.
Yeah, I'll do it. It's fine. Can you just lead into me as SK3 TV Supremo though? And he didn't. SK3 TV head honcho. Nothing. Didn't get anything like that. I didn't mention. They didn't mention the pod at all.
A t-shirt. I'm going to make you one as well. Except I've only got. Have you got it on? Oh. Well.
What's gonna be on mine?
Head honcho.
Or SK3 TV Supremo.
I think
both are good options.
You can wear it on Wednesday. But lovely. I have only got the t-shirt that Will's got. I bought a pack of like 3. I think I've still got the other 2 in there. So it'll be exactly the same, just with different writing on it.
Lovely. I'm in. Yep, sorted. That's oh god, I'm going to look good on the pictures of Wednesday. That's going to be good. Right. Before we move on, we'll go back to a semi-regular feature that we started the other week, but now I've decided it was random county goal of the week, but now it's random county non-league goal of the week. So have this.
Christian Dennis?
I think it's Christian Dennis, weirdly wearing the number 7.
Yeah.
Scoring against any number of teams that played in red at that time. That 2014, I think that was. Yeah. It's just nice. Just we used to be in that division, and so you can't say anything bad about you can't criticize our performances now even slightly, because we used to like roll down a hill at Bradford Park Avenue, which was brilliant. That was brilliant. It doesn't make this any less brilliant.
The 2018-19 season was absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Up there with some of my best times supporting County.
Well, I stand by it. My best time supporting County was the first few years of National League North, just because that was the first time in my life that I was able to go to pretty much every game, and I had a group of mates that went out drinking and went to the games with. Like before that, I was going to away games on my own, like some dirty little ground hopping nonce. Like so you know what I mean. Taking a little drum with me.
Speaking of Christian Dennis, have you seen where Carlisle are in League
I
Two?
thought you were going to say something. Speaking of
No, I was
ground
With
just
grand hopping
moving
nonce
on.
and then Christian Dennis.
I was
That
moving
timing. Yeah.
you're not having the best time of it, Carlisle, are they?
No, they're third from bottom.
Are they still?
The size of that club, it's just, yeah, it's a shame.
They're okay though, because the two teams that I predicted to go down last season are definitely going to go down this season from League Two, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, likely. And we'll see. Isn't Christian Dennis at Tranmere now?
Is he really?
I think so.
I can't keep up.
Let me have a look.
Okay. It's enough that I have to concentrate on what our own players are doing without having to keep an eye on next players
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, he went from Carlisle to Tranmere.
Wow.
So there you go.
Oh, good on him. Also, we'll be seeing him in a few weeks.
I know. That's where I
Well,
was going with it.
potentially.
We'll potentially be seeing him in the BDSM whips and chains shield, but it's quite possible that we could be already through. Because
Yes.
the other two teams are playing tomorrow night. Maybe we'll do a live watch along of whoever the frig's playing tomorrow night in that competition.
Tranmere and
Accrington.
Accrington.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Wait, is it Accrington?
Yeah, it must be. Because otherwise it's Everton, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, you're right, because we played it. Yeah, ignore me. Just ignore me.
I'm going to watch the rest of Bradford and Newport after this. Because
I'm sorry. Sky Sports picks for live games this weekend have been terrible. Saturday lunchtime, they had Fleetwood and Bromley on. Fleetwood Bromley was the Saturday.
But
that makes sense because it's relegated versus promoted.
Oh, that wasn't
No,
where I
but
was
it-
going to go with that.
But it finished 0-0, Hannah, and it finished 0-0, and there was a yellow card around like the 37th minute or something, and that was literally it.
What I was going to suggest is the fact that you put those sort of unglamorous teams together so that you're only losing one, because they have to show every team a certain amount of times as part of the deal. So if you've got a team like Fleetwood and a team like, was it Newport, that
Bromley.
they don't see as particular. Bromley, that was it. Someone mentioned Newport. I don't know. Oh, they're playing
They're
now.
playing Bradford.
Thank you,
0-0.
Hannah. Thank you. You put them together so that you're not, then you don't have to play them against someone like Bradford. You can play Bradford against Notts County, for example, of a team who might be a little bit more appealing to a neutral. That's all I'm thinking.
I suppose they've got to show everyone at some point, haven't they? So
That's,
I suppose
well,
if-
yeah.
That
Is how I started that thought.
I know.
And look
I know.
at
but I
us,
was too
Nick.
busy
We're
reading the
both on
comments when you
water.
started it.
And
Yeah.
And
Jake.
I am on my weekend.
Yeah, I'm getting bored of water now.
I'm amazed
Very
that you've kept
boring.
it up, in fairness.
Not the first time a woman's told me that, to be honest. Not the first time. Not the first time. Before we move on from Wigan, tell us all about the banter with the Wigan fans.
So
Well, Will
we
just dies.
discovered a common enemy in Bolton. So
Excellent.
they went 1-0 down to Shrewsbury. And that was the first round of Bolton get battered everywhere they go, which everyone kind of joined in with, which was nice. The other one was You'll Never Play Us Again. From
Excellent.
the pop side to the Wigan fans, there was a bloke behind me who was very indignant about this because he was like, "This is stupid. We're playing them again in February." And so I had to explain it, he was like, "Well, it was a very long time ago." I was like, "Well, yeah, it was, but
That's the whole point, is that the Wigan fans sang that at us last time we played them, and now we're playing them again.
yeah." So there was that. I feel like there were a few others. Oh, right. If you were called Jamie, and you were quite a well-known Jamie, would you call your son James?
No, I would not, and I'm so
No,
glad this has been
I
discussed.
wouldn't either. But he got some "you've only signed for your surname" comments, which was.
It turned out he's as dirty a bastard as his dad was as a player as well.
Yeah.
It
But
transpired.
who called, like, I don't know.
It's weirdo
it's
behaviour.
like,
I mean,
it's better having Jamie Jr., which sounds like some kind of CBBC thing.
I mean, I would imagine that Jamie Carragher's legal name is James, so it is a James Jr. situation. I would have thought.
It's just weirdo behaviour.
Still, it's,
Just...
But I don't know how it. Yeah. I don't know. My favourite part of the whole thing, and I say favourite, it just is typical nonsense from away fans. They were probably the quietest away end we've had so far, and yet we still got a small section of them going, shh, da da da, football in a library, shh.
The worst chant.
I'm just like, you've made no noise. You've made more noise before the game.
They were
Like,
noisy before.
if they'd been raucous for the whole match and came out with it, I'd sort of go, okay, yeah, fair enough. You've been really loud, fair play. But they weren't. And I'm just like, I hate the whole thing. It's just boring. I hate when we do it, to be perfectly honest. I think it's bland. Away fans generally are louder than home fans because you've got hardcore support bunched together. Alcohol involved. You're making a day of it. Everybody's together. You generally get more singers together. Home games, you've got pockets of people who will sing, including, those of us in Yellow Block, people in the Cheadland. But then you've got a lot of people who just want to sit there quietly and watch a football match. That is how it has always been at football. So to try and turn it into a football in a library that you may know, it's just, shut up. Be more original. Also, because you know how we do, you are my county, my only county, please don't take my county away. They just sing you are my sunshine. They don't change the word. Yeah, it's not you are, it's not you are my Wigan or anything like that, or Latics or anything like. It's just you are my, it was
Is it
weird.
really into Morecambe and Wise or something?
Must be.
Ask your dad.
Must be. I don't have to.
No, I was talking to the readers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it did feel quiet though on Saturday. The Cheadland felt quiet, and it kicked in like only maybe the last 10 minutes or so. And it felt like there was a kind of an uplift in volume. But yeah, I mean, we've said this in the past. I've said, like, when I've been in the Cheadland, you can barely hear Yellow Block and the pop side, and often it's the same. The acoustics aren't great, so maybe it was louder in the Cheadland. I don't know, but
I know that I was quieter than normal on Saturday, but that is because I basically lost my voice. It still was 3 minutes before the game before I couldn't help myself and shouted something at the away end. And I know it was 3 minutes before the game, because a friend of mine 2 seats in front of me went, "Well done, you lasted negative 3 minutes." Yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Well, you've had a chance to get on your high horse there. I think it's my turn to get annoyed right after this. Right.
I don't know what's coming.
Well, the way you've both been conducting yourselves, frankly, we needed to have a wit. No, it's not. People getting really... I mean, first of all, the very fact that we've had a game postponed for internationals this weekend. Now, my first bugbear with it is the people who've booked travel from the other side of the world to come for a game without checking. We've been, even though it wasn't us having games called off, like last season, we had opposition who were having games called off for internationals and stuff. It happened in the National League, for God's sake. There was a game, I think a Dagenham game got called off because they had 3 internationals. So, surely before you buy tickets to fly halfway around the world, or from Norway, it's still other side of the world, fuck them.
There was a game last season. There was a game last season where if Hippolyte hadn't been injured, we would have had it called off. With the exact same players out, we would have had it. We would have been able to have it called off because he would have got called up for Granada, and they could have called him Stockport United's Miles Hippolyte again.
Not again. Oh God! But but the fact we were, well, not me personally, but we as a fan base, as well, I suppose county Twitter were taking the piss out of Wrexham fans last international break. for exactly the same thing, because people had like booked flights to come over from America and Canada, and it's like, well, no, you dickheads, you shouldn't have done. No, serves you right. We've got people in our fan base doing exactly the same, and they're getting really arsey about it. Like, I mean, there's other people who haven't flown around the world getting arsey about it. We'll get onto that shortly, but just I don't understand why you wouldn't. You know that international weekends are a thing. Why would you not check? I just
So
Because
I
people
Some games
don't.
get called
Because
off, but-
some people you really have to drip feed them information. You have to kind of just personally explain it to them directly. You know, people don't have the agency to go and find out things for themselves.
But the
and with
amount of
that in
people, even
mind,
as late as today, people as late as today still don't know it's been called off.
and
So
I
I was worrying what I was going to do with my Saturday, but I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand outside EP and wait.
I'm going to work early.
Huh.
But no, that's a good point, Nick. I think there are people that will. I mean, it's Monday, right? So the club have got some time to send, but you know, they know who's bought tickets, they know who's got season tickets. There's communications that have gone out today about Lincoln tickets that went on sale at lunchtime. Website fell over.
Well done.
We'll skim over that. And the you know, I think there's a comms opportunity because not everyone is on social media. Even if you're on social media, you don't, you know, if you're a casual fan, so someone at Charlotte's school is going, someone else has bought them the tickets for the birthday, the mum had no clue and just wouldn't. She would have, you know, happily sent him off to Edgeley Park on Saturday. So yeah, there is that.
Well, it's the going hand in hand with it. We need to operate like a town crier system. Will, you'd be perfect for that.
Because I'm
Going
loud.
Around the streets of Stockport, going, hear ye, the game's off, so find something else to do with your day, you dickhead.
For the right salary, I would happily be a town crier.
Oh, for the right salary, I'd do anything. Anything. Like, anything goes. For the right salary. There might be
Moving
a
on.
different salary for each one.
But
I-
to go back to schedule, so in the end, I'm buying tickets to watch Tampa Bay Buccaneers between Christmas and New Year, and the NFL has something called flexible scheduling. So when you buy tickets, it's really, really clear that this is a game that could be affected by flexible scheduling. And, you know, as a consequence, you know, these are what your rights are. Basically, you have no rights.
Welcome to America!
And I think just flagging, you know, that a particular fixture is during, you know, an international break for the championship and above, it's just a comms thing, isn't it?
Have they sent an email out? Say to because I don't think I've seen one, but I'm also really bad at checking my emails.
No, because mine go to my work emails now because I wasn't getting them for ages. Right. So I changed my email address. And no, I've not had anything.
Yeah. They probably should do that for all of my comments about people. You know, you can't tell people some things, you know, some things, and they do. A courtesy email would be the right thing to do. It is the only direct communication the club has. Just putting it on Twitter isn't enough, to be fair.
Maybe they're waiting until they know when it's like maybe.
I don't think they know when
it's going to be rescheduled. Because I was thinking, like, if you bought tickets, it'd be like, right, these are your options. The game is going to take place on such date. Your tickets will still be valid. If you can't attend, give us a ring and we'll sort your refund out or transfer it to another fixture.
They can still put in an email, we don't know when it will be. Yes. Your tickets will be available for the rearranged date, whenever that is. We will let you know in due course and follow up email. They should be doing that, to be fair to people who don't.
I'm sure they will. It's things. Monday, isn't it? So
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's a working day. Not for me. Although I have just finished my beer. So.
But going hand in hand with the travel and ticket side of it, it's the people who think we shouldn't have taken the opportunity to call it off. Because I've seen all sorts of like squads, like square peg round holes being done. Some saying, well, put Hughes at centre back with Horsfall, move Pye to left back, I said, but why should we break
why
up
would you?
this partnership that's doing so well for us? Why should we put ourselves? Oh well, we could have players out injured for the return fixture. This is County. We will have players out injured for the return fixture. Don't worry about that. But it's just why would you not want to?
The only good argument that I have seen for it is that Wickham have never beaten us on a Saturday. That's the only.
Even-
That's the only.
But the fact
defense.
that people have said that means that they would have done if it. Had
It's a
gone ahead.
Wickham fan.
Oh, yeah.
It was a Wickham fan.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
even in that
They really
awful
never
Gary
beat us
Ablett
on a
season, we
Saturday.
put 4 past them.
That's what he said.
It's been ages since they won at Argyle. It's been ages.
It
I
has.
think we're talking like it might be like early 90s or something. I'll look into that after. Or if Ben Walker's listening, I'm sure he can find it for us. But yeah, all the talk of Challoner was complaining the other week that the squad's too big. He wasn't moaning that the squad's too big. He was just saying there's players who aren't featuring. That's quite clearly what he was saying there. Like, because he's the one who's been most heavily involved in putting that squad together. So he's not going to put a squad together with too many players, let the transfer window close, and go, "Oh, I've got too many players here." And it's just, but if we did go and make them changes to the squad and then lost at home, then you can guarantee it'd be, "Oh well, we should have. Why didn't we call this game off? Why have we put?"
Dave Philbin makes a perfect
There we go.
comment in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a factor for, and it's not like it's even like the whole Premier League TV thing where it could be any time. It's going to be on a Tuesday night at 7:45. I know it's an inconvenience for some people, but 90% of games are going to be Saturday 3 p.m, Tuesday 7:45. It's not really that much to worry about.
Yeah.
And we get a night game in the winter.
I was going to say, at least it's not an away one. We can,
Yeah, exactly.
travel across to actually.
It is
Um,
worse for Wickham fans than it is for us.
Much worse. And I was going to say something really intelligent and astute, and I'll just
Well, none of that, please.
slope
Any of
off
that.
into the corner because I
Don't
can't
say
remember.
it. Oh. It's okay now that you said that. We know that you're intelligent and astute,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
don't need to
Yeah.
actually say the intelligent and astute thing.
Yeah.
It's
I have
fine.
many leather-bound books. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I own books.
I've read books.
I do.
I actually do have a bookcase of plays there. Can't see them. I could turn
No,
the camera, but I'm not going to.
I've,
I don't know what else
I've
I'd be
got,
revealing.
I've got a bookcase of Latin shit over there. You can't see it, but
Yeah.
it's definitely there. I just love a bit of Latin. Just love it. Love
My,
it. Cogito
my-
ergo sum.
Yeah.
I am clever.
Post hoc ergo propter hoc.
Caecilio ist in horto ambulatum.
This is the Thinking Person's County
What
podcast.
are we doing here? No, I'm going to pretend I'm involved in that because I said the first Latin phrase. So
did.
I'm just
You
as
did.
involved in this as you.
You
two
are. You
Show
are.
offs.
I don't speak
Oh.
Latin. I know like 3 phrases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what
I know the
poet
one that's
is.
on Blackburn's badge. Oh,
Do you know what? That's what I was going to say. It was all
There
the
you go.
people who were complaining about the squad that we put out against Blackburn, and then
Right.
were perfectly happy with it after we beat Blackpool 4 days later.
It's just.
I was complaining
I don't
about
know.
it though. I
These
was
people
annoyed
not
at the
know-
team that we put out against Blackburn, but mostly because I went
Yeah,
and it
same.
was horrible. It was a horrible night.
But you know, keeps us grounded. We were in the
That's
National
why.
League.
That's why I said
Nominate
about the.
votes.
That's what I said about the Leighton Orient game. Like entirely legitimately, I think some people have got too used to winning, and we need some. We need some, strong, hard defeats.
I said at the time it was, I was glad that we got it over and done with.
Yeah.
There's no peril involved.
Till we play Birmingham.
And as long as we don't go putting a team like that out in the FA Cup, I want that. I say it every year, but I want an FA
When's
Cup
the
run.
draw?
Next Monday.
And next Monday, the games. are this
Because I
weekend,
also
yes.
need to know who we're playing, and weirdly, I would kind of like a team in the southeast away,
That'd be
because
handy for you. I want. Curzon
I'm
Ashton
supposed to
away.
be I'm supposed to be visiting my parents that week, so it would be quite handy if.
I want Curzon Ashton away, and I want us to basically have a massive ticket scramble for it, and then I can sit there and say, oh well, do you remember when we were in National League North? You could just turn up on the day for Curzon away. Oh, we used to be in National League North, you know. Oh,
I'm away. It's the day that we fly back, so I hope that it's an easy away fixture. That's what I'd like. Not an interesting one.
So you're on board
draw.
with Chertsey FC away, so that I can get to
100%.
it, and so that we can lose to Chertsey on penalties
Yeah.
because they're dangerously close to Staines.
Except
The
there's a
draw will be
bloke at
next
work
week,
who
next Monday.
supports Chertsey, and he'd
What?
be unbearable. Yeah.
I know people who played for Chertsey's schoolboy team, so that's as close as I get.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Didn't know they had
Um,
fans.
Well, if the draw is next Monday night, then maybe we move to an hour
Oh.
earlier and do a watch along.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, that'll be fun for no one. Because there'll be
What
tonight as
time?
well. Everyone will know before it comes out on here.
No, it's at 3 p.m. Oh no, that's the qualifying draw.
If anyone knows when the FA Cup first round proper draw is, that would.
I was
great.
definitely
Uh,
told it was next Monday.
It's Monday the
It's this
14th of
Monday.
October. So I've just gone on the FA website and I've got sorry, something's wrong with the pitch. We call this a 404 error. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, aren't they fun?
Oh,
Aren't they
Um,
fun?
that's a fun bunch of old white men, isn't it?
I'm on the exact same page as you. Apparently, it's taking place at Valley Parade on Monday, the 14th of October. That's as much as I can find.
I
Oh
went
yes,
to
all the
watch-
local mutants there. They're bringing that back for the draws, aren't they? They don't do it for transfer deadline day because of the dildos in the air and stuff, but they do it for FA Cup draws now.
I'm
So
sorry,
it will
what?
be.
What?
It'll be. Like transfer deadline day, they don't do it where there's fans now. They have the reporters have like a little fenced off area. So they don't
That's
end up
not the
with,
thing that made Huz and Hannah say what?
marital aids in the what was it? The local mutants.
Dildos in their ear.
I mean, it was
Yeah, yeah,
just
that's
a
what I'm saying, yeah.
whole
Yeah, before they were
series.
getting marital
of-
aids in their ear, and now, but they'll have all the mutants out at proper. So it will. I'm assuming it'll be like 7 o'clock next Monday night. Then, maybe we'll look into doing something for that.
My phone
well-
my phone's running Apple Intelligence and it started glowing around the thing. I've never seen anything like it before.
Is it the AI takeover? Have they finally
know.
come for us?
And I don't know what it. I'm just gonna leave it over there.
Oh God, I think we should do a watch along of the FA Cup draw, and I'll just do the exact same thing that I do when I watch it with other people, which is go no. Like 26 AFC Tottenham. No thanks. No. Like,
I was really
No.
disappointed because somebody
is.
mentioned the Met Police in the WhatsApp group, and I thought that meant that they were still in because I actually would have loved Met Police away. It would have been
they're out, aren't they?
hilarious.
They're out on early release. Thanks,
Yeah.
Starmer.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Perfect.
Oh, there we go.
maybe
We we could start early. I say as if I have a say in these decisions.
Well, I'll do 2 shows that night. Do an FA Cup watch along.
Bumper 2-hour show where there hasn't been a match. Just imagine the tangents we could go on in 2 hours.
I mean, this has been
God.
bad enough. This feels
Maybe-
particularly tangential.
I don't
Maybe
think
we'll
we've been
do
that
like
bad.
we'll do like our top county FA Cup games. And no, because there's no jeopardy in that, is there? Because we know it'll be Bolton. Bolton's the
Oh,
only
I've got a
answer.
really good one though as well,
There is one that I'm thinking of that's really good. That
Yeah.
might be the same one Hannah's thinking of.
and it would be incredibly appropriate to
It
talk
would-
about.
Oh yes, yeah, I've got it. Yeah. Great. Well, we'll do that next week. We'll talk FA Cup next week. Yeah, I might come armed with some clips and everything. Oh, should we?
Have you
shall
got
we
the
wrap it
rights
up
to
there?
them though, Nick?
Oh, the rights don't matter when I'm involved.
Did you have a clip of the disallowed goal from a certain angle?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh,
no, I'm not.
right, okay.
It's not play. I'm not playing slow motion clips on a podcast. That's weird.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Nah. Slow motion clips that are only of interest to the people watching live and not the people listening to the audio. Nah.
We should do
it was
something
on
soothing
ball.
for them. Do we want to do
was on
some
ball for
SK3 TV ASMR for the
ASMR.
people who are listening?
Oh God!
You could get like, what are the sounds of Stockport County? You could have, an acoustic, slow down version of the Scarf.
People passing out drunk in bars and being stretched out of football grounds.
The pies don't really have any sounds. Although my dad used to make a joke, like when I used to go when I was little, because they didn't put the pies out until half time. And my dad used to say that the biggest cheer at Stockport County was when the pies came out at half time.
Classic.
Great. Yeah.
Classic County.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, I should have put it up there, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Definitely deteriorated in the last 20 minutes.
Ollie, is it still 1-0? Before I know whether we should I should rush back to watch.
If we can get an update on
Bradford Newport
on the Bradford game, then that'll be good. I'd like one of them.
Right. I have seen a message to say that Wickham have never beaten us at Edgeley Park, so they will whenever this game is played.
Thanks, Ollie. It's 1-0 still.
1-0 half time.
Tuesday night at 7:45, and that's not exactly a terrible thing. It'll all be fine.
Oh, Sars is injured, isn't he? Yeah.
He is. For a little while, I think.
Yeah. Take the boy out of County.
That's it. He probably came back to visit for the day, and then bang, fell down the steps. Done.
Did you, as a complete aside, did you see the kind of furore? I don't think we talked about this at the time, about what's it called, Simpson leaving Carlisle, and the criticism of his kind of strength and conditioning approach, and them believing that it contributed significantally to their injury issues.
Yes, I saw a bit of this.
It's interesting. I'll find some of the links and reshare them. But yeah, interesting, kind of given our own kind of history.
But also
during Jake Simpson's playing career, he didn't play a single game for any team that wasn't managed at the time by his father.
Excellent.
Well, and honestly, that was one of the things that they talked about as well, that the players felt like they couldn't say anything to Simpson Senior because of the relationship with Jack. It's just interesting, an interesting read that's only all really come out since they left.
Going back to Sars visiting for the day and coming away injured. What wasn't Ash Palmer in an away end recently?
Yes, Barnsley, wasn't it?
Barnsley, was that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Ash.
I miss him.
You know, we've had mention of the National League North season. We've had mention of the Bolton FA Cup game. We can't not mention Ash Palmer.
Talking people visiting for the day, Thiago Alcantara at weekend, which was just Yeah. Is it going to be another midfield signing? It was retirement?
Peculiar. Maybe he lives in Knutsford, doesn't he? Someone said. But
yeah, so I'm assuming it's because he's Stock's guest apparently. So,
right.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they've met in Booth or whatever, however they do the shopping.
Booths. I used to work in Knutsford. Booths is my favourite of all the supermarkets.
I don't believe I've ever been to Knutsford.
I mean, it should be funny because it's got nuts in the name. So, that's
but there's a K, it ruins it.
Silent K.
No, can't remember. It's gone again. I'll remember later.
Good. Well, make sure to text it to us because we're going off air in a minute.
All right.
We'll be back same time, maybe earlier next week.
Twice.
Or twice. Yeah, probably twice more like, because otherwise it will just be 45 minutes of us like trying to wring as much as we can out of like Leighton Orient.
We could just start it early. We could just start at 7 and finish at 8:30 or whatever.
We could get all our rambling done while the FA Cup draw is on, and then at some point we could do an an ad break, and then that's the bit from then on that goes on like Streamy or Acast or whatever.
But then what do we talk about if we've got the rambling out of the way?
But I will have an ad to play, won't I? So I'll have an ad to
Oh,
play
we
for the
will.
next event.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
possibly.
Oh, we'll make it work. It'll be fine.
We'll
If
look
anyone
at that,
wants
we'll
to
look
keep
at that.
us company watching the FA Cup draw, then we will be here.
I'll do some research. I'll see what other podcasts do, and then I'll do the opposite. That seems the best way of doing it. Right. No, Phil Lloyd, you won't see us in the courtyard on Saturday
No.
because it's all a bloody disgrace.
I should still
Right.
open the courtyard because some people will probably still go.
Well, I'll be there because I'll be keeping an eye out for people who've turned up expecting it to be a game. So I'll definitely be there.
Should we take a tub of roses and do like, attempts at stewarding?
For heroes.
Well,
More of a
we
hero,
would
yeah.
be heroes.
Just for one day.
Hardcastle heroes.
Oh God, that was a good way to bookend it because it was really petering out for the last hour.
Take that one
Nah,
personally.
the last
Maybe
last
cut
10
off
minutes.
the last 5 minutes. That'd be
Because
good.
I'm not editing. Fuck it. It says unfiltered. It says unfiltered on the when I preview the episode. Say live and unfiltered, which makes us sound like one of those like anti-woke comedians.
I'll put Hardcastle Hero on your t-shirt.
Oh God, I don't know if I prefer that or
I'll put
head
it with
honcho
like
for
a
hero.
detachable cape.
Detachable. I want the cape on there all the time. All the
Just-
time.
Stop
Right. I look forward to that. Oh, yeah, it's been a giddy one tonight. Oh, it's good. I like it when it's giddy. Oh, I like fun. I like fun on my.
Do you want to end it, Nick?
No, I was just trying to. I was too busy talking while I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember what button I have to press. But at the same time, there's
Just
talking
press the
going on.
button, make it
Right,
stop.
No, I don't
Make
know,
it
press the
stop,
button.
please.
I don't. Do I want to press the button? Let's press the button. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
You're going too close to the mic there, Will. It didn't pick that up. Well done.
I whispered. I hoped it would be quiet enough for it to not peak.
No.
Never mind.
Well, we'll see the waves on Audacity in about 10 minutes, won't I? Bye, everyone. That's the most boring thing anyone's ever said to end the podcast. Well, have a look at the waveforms.
Just bloody end
I'm leaving. I'm going out the window.
Bye.